Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for a Friday edition of the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini, and my God, do we have a jam-packed Friday show here this evening. Last night on stream, when we were wrapping things up, I thought, it was going to be a pretty breezy stream here today. Talk a little bit about the Steelers' final injury report, talk a little bit about the Pittsburgh Penguins game last night, do a little bit of extra stuff, and then we will head into the weekend. But no, that is not the case. In fact, those two things, the Pens game last night and the Steelers injury report, both of those things taking a back seat today. They are going to be a part of the extra Pittsburgh Sports News segment in the last half of the show. Instead, today we start off with two breaking news stories from earlier today, one on the Steelers, one on the Penguins. The Steelers, an update on the TJ Watt situation, and it is very, very sketchy, and I think someone is in a whole hell of a lot of trouble over there at the UPMC Rooney Sports Complex. An NFL insider reported one thing pretty direct to the source. The brother of TJ Watt, JJ, said another thing happened. Who's right, who's wrong? We will talk about that to begin the show here in a moment. After that, we will get into the other breaking news story of the day. We covered it when it went down earlier today. That is the Penguins making a big trade, selling off a piece that has been with the team for quite some time, bringing back two players and a draft pick. We will talk more about that trade. Then we will get into the extra Pittsburgh sports news, Steelers injury report, Pens games last night, all of that good stuff. So lots to get into. We will start here in a moment. Before we do that, if you are new here, welcome to the live stream. On your way in, if you have not done so already, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the channel again. Also, like this live stream, share this live stream, leave a comment in the comment section as well. I enjoy when you find folks put things in the comment section. Any thoughts, questions, or opinions that you may have, get those in there. I can pop those up on screen at a moment's notice like this, and we can interact that way. Also, if you haven't done so already, go give the channel a follow at Steel City SR on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and tune back in a little bit later on tonight for a new edition of SCSR 60. 5 of you already in here. We have lots to talk about. Please, by all means, get your comments in the comment section. I will come back to the comment section after we get through our first segment of the night. And this is a big one, ladies and gentlemen. We do today have an update on the TJ Watt situation. Watt hospitalized, I believe, Wednesday night heading into Thursday morning for some lung discomfort that he experienced at the team facility. That's all we really knew yesterday. We didn't know what exactly happened or the exact status of Watt heading into Monday night. Today, I think we got all of those answers pretty cleared up. Just sort of going in a timeline order here. The first bit of new news we heard on the Watt situation today came from Tom Pelissero on NFL Network. Pelissero on NFL Network said that TJ Watt did experience some discomfort. He had, quote, a small hole in his lung. The issue has since been fixed. Pelissero also putting out there, it's not expected to be long-term. His status remains up in the air for Monday night. The exact quote from Pelissero on Watt, going to read it right here, quote, they did some additional tests that showed a small issue, like a tiny hole in his lung, that then needed to be sent to the hospital and fixed. So at this point, this is not a major issue. Easy for me to say it's not my lung, but not any type of major or long-term issue for TJ Watt. The issue has been fixed. What he needs now is rest. Now, Pelissero, I'm glad that he clarified there that he is no medical expert. I don't think anyone that's going to be on this live stream tonight is any sort of medical expert, but tiny hole in the lung, that doesn't sound like your typical, sore knee or my shoulder, my hamstring was a little tight today. It doesn't sound like your typical football injury, let alone injury period here. So not sure where Pelissero came from there. Then we go a little bit later on today, after Pelissero put out that report. Interesting. That Pelissero report came in the morning, so you're probably looking around 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Then, 4 hours ago, pretty close to the direct source here being TJ Watt, TJ's brother JJ takes to Twitter and he puts out the following post, quote, "Yesterday TJ had successful surgery to stabilize and repair a partially collapsed lung suffered Wednesday after a dry needling treatment session at the facility. Recovery timeline is still to be determined, but all went well and he is being released from the hospital today. He and his family are very appreciative of everyone's kind words as well, our kind words and well wishes." TJ's wife, Danny, also took to Instagram, putting out there, "Yesterday, TJ completed successful surgery to stabilize and repair a partially collapsed lung suffered from the dry needling thing." Pretty much the same thing JJ said there. "It has been a very long, hard couple of days, but he will be home soon to recover. Thank you all for the incredible outpouring of love, prayers, and support the past couple of days, and praise God for the amazing medical teams at both hospitals." So it sounds like TJ going to multiple hospitals, according to his wife, Danny. We heard more on this situation shortly after that JJ post. It's sort of a cat is out of the bag. Might as well get everything out on the table after that such report from JJ. Ian Rappaport put out there that Watt is expected to play again this season following the surgery for the partially collapsed lung. Rappaport putting, "Sometimes this type of thing heals on its own. This time it did not, so the surgery was necessary. A full recovery is expected for Watt later in the afternoon." Mike Tomlin, he did say that Watt was released from the hospital, is resting at home comfortably, but he will be out for Monday night's game against the Dolphins. So 2 things there that we learned today that we did not know 24 hours ago. 3 things. We now know the state of Watt at home resting. We know his status for Monday night as well. But most importantly, we now know how this came to be, how TJ Watt was in this predicament. Mike Tomlin, when he was addressing the whole thing, saying Watt is out and all that, said, he doesn't know much. He did say that this was a pretty normal thing, which kind of odd for Tomlin to say that the injury was something, or the procedure was something normal. I don't think dry needling, whatever that is, sounds like a normal everyday thing here. Dry needling, lots of people looked into that afterwards. Going to read you 2 posts here, one from Mike DeFabo and one from the NFL PA per Steelers Depot. Mike DeFabo, Steelers beat writer. This is what TJ Watt went through, this dry needling thing that now, at least according to JJ Watt, or at least he was heavily implying it, is the reason TJ had the partially collapsed lung. This, per the Physical Therapy Association, dry needling, it is a skilled intervention that uses a thin filiform needle to penetrate the skin and stimulate underlying myofascial trigger points, muscular and connective tissues, for the management of neuromusculoskeletal pain and movement impairments. Sounds like something that is something you need to be really, really scared with and have a whole crap ton of clearances for. Per the NFLPA, what they have on their site, excuse me here, dry needling, they had pretty much the same definition: solid filiform needle used to insert into the skin to target trigger points. 2 commonly used techniques are inserting the needle and leaving it for a set period of time, or inserting and removing the needle in a continuous fast motion called pistoning. That does not sound like something pleasant, or something that should puncture a lung here. Pistoning. So we're constantly stabbing the needle, fast motion, into TJ Watt here, or leaving it in for a set period of time. And from what I was listening, to multiple reports on this today, sounds like this needle thing, this should not be something that punctures lungs. It shouldn't even come close to the lung, as a matter of fact. And doesn't sound like the NFLPA explanation of this sounds like it should, cause your lung to be pierced and collapsed either. Possible side effects of dry needling: bleeding may occur alongside the onset of soreness and bruising. That's understandable. If the patient has an aversion to needles, this may not be the best modality to use, obviously. And fainting has occurred in some populations. Those are the only 3 possible side effects, not someone's lung getting punctured. It is best used with skilled physical therapy and therapeutic exercise. So that is what dry needling is. And that to me, it sounds like something that you need a lot of clearances for, and it sounds like something that not all that often results in a player getting rushed to the hospital. Ian Rappaport put that out there as well. And yeah, it's just a very, very scary situation here. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Dry needling doesn't sound like it's something where it should be close to your lung. Yet Watt had a small hole in the heart, according to Tom Pelissero, had to be rushed to the hospital. Turns out his lung was partially collapsed. And this, to me, reeks that Pelissero reported one thing, that it was just a small hole in the heart, no big deal. He's still in question. And then, like, a couple hours later, JJ comes out. No, TJ is just got released from the hospital. This was a serious thing. His lung partially collapsed, and it was because of this that the doctors did at the team facility. So I want to know. I'm going to take JJ's side on this because he would have no other reason to post and throw the team under the bus unless reports out there were circling something completely different than what TJ explained actually happened. So this is a very interesting situation. I think someone is in a lot of trouble over there at the Rooney Sports Complex, or whether it's a team doctor or someone they brought in, because they do bring in unaffiliated doctors for certain things. Sounds like someone to me is in a lot of trouble, because this is something that doesn't occur often. I mean, the last time we had something similar to this, we talked about it yesterday, was Tyrod Taylor getting his lung punctured, but that was because I believe he had cracked ribs, and they actually, had reason to be more near his lungs in that case. So this is very strange and very unusual, to where I think someone is hiding something or not telling the truth over there at the Steelers. You do not have this type of thing happen to your $41 million player and then don't, say something about it or what actually happened here. This is very sketchy, in my opinion. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Mark Caboli, he also said that he wonders if TJ Watt is going to come back this year. That's another thing that goes against the Pelissero report. Pelissero treating it like, oh yeah, he may miss Monday, but he'll definitely be back against the Detroit Lions next weekend. Collapsed lung after getting dry needled doesn't sound like something that, you can just sit, rest, and recover for a couple of days and then go back in there and play 100%. So I'm very confused by this, and more so angry, because this happened to your best player and it took us this long, and from TJ's brother JJ to get a Watt side of the story here. So I'm confused. I'm angry at it. This sounds like something that could have been avoided. Patrick Queen, he spoke on this today, the dry needling, that is. He says, I don't do the whole dry needling thing. I'm actually scared of dry needling, so I kind of stay away from that stuff. Yeah, sounds like something that shouldn't happening. It sounds like something that should be, done very, very carefully. And I wonder if there is some sort of malpractice or something on the Steelers' point of this. I'm not incriminating anyone yet, but it's really heavily leaning that way. We heard more from teammates on how they'll fill the absence of Watt in this game. Cam Hayward saying that there's a lot of confidence in the group to help compensate for the loss of TJ, especially at outside linebacker with Highsmith, Herbig, and Jack Sawyer. Nick Herbig said that this has been a part of his whole career, filling in for guys when they go down, so it won't be too much new from him. Yeah, just tons and tons of speculations and sketchy stuff. It's weird that Tom Pelissero put out one thing this morning saying that this was no big deal. It's something, smaller here. And then JJ comes out and says, no, this actually was a pretty serious situation where collapsed lung, had surgery. This was caused by this. So Steelers and no other insider reported that it was from dry needling. Just got to wonder what is going on here. So want to get your guys' thoughts on this. We'll get back into some Steelers talk a little bit later on in the program. You got the another injury report. I would say the penultimate injury report ahead of Monday night's game. The Steelers list kept growing today, not just with the addition of TJ Watt yesterday. Another name joining the list. Let's go here to the comment section now. We will get into Steeler talk right now. THP Concepts in the comments section. Glad to have you two gentlemen here. As I'm sure much more will come in throughout the show. Let's go here to Concepts talking about THP here. Hope everything is doing all right with you, THP. A lot of hike building going on here after going on here while weather is warm. Good luck with that there, THP. Concepts here confused. How can an abdomen lung be punctured? TJ is superhuman, so those needles must be vibranium or something. Like I said, I think from what I've heard in a few reports, these needles, they're relatively small, and so you'd have to jam it in there to get the needle. So what they're calling it in the descriptions of the procedure and what happens doesn't sound like something that should go all the way through to your lungs. So someone definitely did something wrong here that required Watt to be rushed to the hospital with this lung discomfort and to get this thing fixed. THP, I've heard of this type of situation, and even though it's rare, it's preventable. Yeah, very preventable here. Sounds like someone messed up, unfortunately. I agree with that, THP. Free time to rest and recover for the next day. Concepts talking about THP's ventures here. Let's go here again to Concepts. Someone messed up for sure. Sounds like JJ wanted to clarify the original report. I trust JJ over Pelissero for sure. Yeah, you want to talk about getting as close to TJ himself and his explanation and feeling on the matter. Go to his brother JJ, who has no sort of reason to be protective of the organization or anything like that. He's going to call it how it is. So, yeah, definitely going to take up JJ's tweet more than anything any of the other insiders say. It's almost like Pelissero spoke for the Steelers side of it, maybe to say like, oh, hey, Pelissero, please put out that this is what's going on with JJ, but we're not going to specify exactly how that situation came to be. And then JJ's like, no, we're going to put out here right now exactly how this happened. So we're going to take up JJ with a little bit more truth here than anything else right now. People hate admitting when they mess up. So maybe the team is trying to get all the info before making a statement. Could there be foul play with a sleeper agent? Have to start vetting the physical therapist? I'm not going to go that far there, Concepts. I know you're the conspiracy guy on here, and I love you for it, but I'm not going to go that far there. Do definitely think that the Steelers were slow playing a little bit of that information until they got all the facts. But JJ talking to TJ, I'm sure right away. I'm 99% sure that JJ talked to TJ, put together that tweet, probably got confirmation from TJ that everything he put in there is 100% correct, and then posted it. So definitely seems like there was some foul play in there that the insiders, unless they, aside from them reposting what JJ said, doesn't really sound like there was any admission to fault or anything there from a physical therapist or doctor or Steelers side of things here when it happened in their building. THP here, probably not foul play, but potentially mishandling. Not foul play, mishandling. I mean, I'm putting those two things together. That's what I meant by mishandling. No intentional sort of thing to hurt TJ here, but mishandling. Definitely something's up there that we do not know about yet. I feel like JJ versus Pelissero boxing match in the near future. My money's on JJ. Oh my God, don't even do that. Poor Pelissero. JJ eats burritos as big as him there. Concepts again here. Steelers are the most injured team in the NFL. 49ers were till Purdy came back. Not a competition. You want to win. I mean, they're making a bid for it right now. Talk about all the guys already on IR. Most of those defensive linemen. Steelers injury list. It's pretty extensive here today, and that list is growing. It's reasonable to expect that the injury list is going to get bigger as the season goes along, but this is starting to get a little ridiculous here for the Steelers. That was a joke. Yeah, I get you. I get you there, Concepts, honestly. But yeah, this TJ thing, very, very interesting and a little bit sketchy how it took to get to TJ's brother to get out what exactly happened at the team facility there. So someone slow playing something. I am interested why. We may never know, but this is becoming dry needle gate. I've seen the term being floated out there a little bit today. So we will definitely monitor this situation heading into Monday. Before we go live for Monday's game, we will give another update on the TJ situation, I am sure. But wanted to get your guys' thoughts in. What do you think of the whole TJ situation? It went from a small hole in the lung, and he's questionable for Monday, by Tom Pelissero, to JJ a couple hours later. No, TJ's lung partially collapsed, and he is out for Monday, and it was because of dry needling, something that no insider or spokesperson for the Steelers put out there. So want to get your guys' thoughts on that. By all means, get them in the comment section as we move along here tonight. No one wants to admit the people they hired hurt the franchise player. That is very true. But at some point, no one wants to admit that they, put a person in there that hurt the franchise player. But also, you're protecting you're protecting yourself, and you're protecting the person that did it. While at the same time, I'm sure TJ might take a little bit of exception, like, hey, I'm the guy you're paying $41 million here. Do right by me and post what happened here. So I could see TJ's side of that there. Now that we know he is safe and stable, I'm curious how long he is expected to miss until he's 100%. I don't know if I seriously doubt partially collapsed lung. Doesn't sound like something that, you can just rest and rehab for a week or something. I doubt Watt's going to be 100% for the rest of the year, and that's including playoffs here. So this is something serious, and Tomlin and Pelissero, I think, treated it like it's going to be something that, he's just out this week. We'll see. But, I mean, geez, doesn't that sound like something that's going to keep him out significantly longer, potentially? I think so. So I'm going to treat this as TJ might come back, last week or two of the season. I think he's going to be out. He's definitely going to be out Monday. I'll even put TJ out for next weekend's game against the Lions. That is for sure. So I just hope that he's the best. And like you said over there, Wolverine blood TJ has. He is Watt. So quick healers, guys who can fight through lots of pain. But not sure if any of them have experienced something like this before. So thoughts and prayers to TJ Watt. Thank God that he is okay. But we now know that it was something that happened at the team facility, dry needling, that caused this. So hopefully some more truth and information on this situation comes out here in the near future. 10 of you in here right now. Welcome to the live stream. On your way in, please hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Like, share, leave a comment in the comment section. Going to keep things moving along fairly quickly here on a Friday, even though we do have a lot more to get to. So we're going to keep things moving here. Going to get into something that happened earlier today, I think even before the TJ Watt lung update. The Pittsburgh Penguins, switching things over here to hockey for a second. They made a big move today. They actually made a series of moves. They started off the day by officially loaning defenseman Harrison Brunick to Team Canada for the World Junior Championships, and they activated forward Ricard Raquel off of injured reserve. Raquel today said he feels like he's playing his first hockey game again. He's really excited to get back there. Just happy to get back out there with the guys. Understandable there from Raquel. But then the Pens one-upped those moves that would have probably been newsworthy enough here on a Friday. And they made a trade. It is a move that has been rumored for a while. And, we ultimately thought we were going to get there, but not today. Something we covered earlier, just a couple more thoughts on it. Tristan Jarry, no longer a Pittsburgh Penguin. He this afternoon traded to the Edmonton Oilers along with forward Sam Poulin. In return, the Penguins getting goaltender Stuart Skinner, defenseman Brett Kulak, and a 2029 second-round pick. Just a couple of extra thoughts that I want to reiterate, and also some new thoughts I developed in the past couple of hours since the trade on this move. Let's first start with what the Pens gave up here. Tristan Jarry to Edmonton. That has been rumored for pushing a month now at pretty much every single NHL insider. Chris Johnston, Pierre LeBrun, Elliot Friedman, those types of guys. They have been, Frank Saravalli, they've been speculating Jarry to the Oilers for quite some time. And today, it finally came to fruition. Jarry kind of heading back to Edmonton, spent his junior days as a member of the Edmonton Oil Kings when he was still a teenager and young adult. But Jarry having a decent year. He has been a big part as to why the Penguins are in the spot they are right now in the midst of a playoff berth hunt right now in December for a team that didn't have all that many expectations heading into the season. Jarry has been a big reason why they are to where they are right now. He's been outstanding in goal and really was impressing a ton of fans and didn't really show that dark side of Tristan Jarry where he looks like a less than serviceable NHL goaltender. But hey, congratulations to him on the hot start to the season. Really improved his game in many areas, had his confidence boosted and all that. And now he heads to Edmonton. Want to get this out of the way. Wish him nothing but the best moving forward. I'm glad to see that he ended things on good terms here in Pittsburgh. Also, going back to Edmonton in the deal, forward Sam Poulin failed first round pick, to say the least, for him. He was the, I think, final first round pick of the old Jim Rutherford regime when they were getting phased out. Poulin somehow stuck through the Ron Hextall era and for a solid chunk of the Kyle Dubas era until today. Poulin getting a change of scenery as well. Actually commented on the trade. We haven't heard from Jarry, but we did hear from Poulin today. This per Guillaume Lepage, who covers a minor league hockey. Poulin to him saying, quote, "I was kind of stuck, especially this year. I felt like I was playing great hockey and doing what I had to do to deserve to be called up. Unfortunately, it didn't always happen. I'm not the one making those decisions. I don't know what their plan was." So kind of boosting up himself a little bit, but also throwing a subtle backhanded slap in the way of the Penguins. As for what the Penguins got back in this trade, they moved out Jarry and his big contract, sold high on him. They also moved out first round pick that was up and down between the NHL and AHL. Wasn't exactly sure what a return would be in a trade like that. But then Kyle Dubas, Penguins general manager, he worked his magic today and he knocked it out of the park, in my opinion. Let's start with the top name there, goaltender Stuart Skinner. Lots of people talking about him in return here. Skinner, in my opinion, he is just a younger, cheaper Tristan Jarry. Jarry's 30, Skinner is 27. Jarry has 2 more years after this season left on his contract at over $5 million. Meanwhile, Skinner, he is in the final year of a deal, only making $2.5 million. And where I see more commonalities between those two than just their contract situations. Well, those are pretty different. But where I see the similarities between those two, both goaltenders, Skinner, Jarry, last year, terrible years. And they have taken a lot of flack from their respective fan bases over their NHL careers up until this point. Last year, Stuart Skinner an .896 save percentage. Tristan Jarry, .892. Unlike Jarry, Skinner has not really improved all that much coming into this season. Meanwhile, Jarry has taken off. But where I see tons of similarities between Jarry and Skinner, they will hit mountainous highs. When they are on their game, they are a hell of a goaltender that can win you hockey games. But when they are low, they are cavernous. When they're off their game, they are borderline unplayable. The Penguins moving out Jarry, but also getting back a slightly diminished version of Tristan Jarry right now, who's still waiting for a bounce back. Maybe he has already bounced back, by the way. Stuart Skinner, Penguins selling high on Jarry. The Oilers, they're also kind of selling high on Stuart Skinner as well. 4-1-1 in his last 6 games, a .937 save percentage as of late. And his resume, you want to talk about comparing him and Jarry? Skinner right now maybe a lesser version of Tristan Jarry, even though they have similar tendencies. But Skinner, in his career up until this point, much more accomplished than Tristan Jarry. With the Oilers, Skinner went from a backup to a goaltender that took the Oilers to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals, winning 7 series. Skinner, by the way, 7 playoff series wins. That's 7 more than Tristan Jarry there. So Skinner, back-to-back Stanley Cup final goaltender lead, or getting the Oilers there, playing good enough goaltending. A 109-62 record, not counting, or I think maybe not counting regular or overtime and shootout losses. 904 save percentage, 274 goals against average. Was an all-star before. So Stuart Skinner, people saying, oh, Jarry heading to Edmonton is the better of the 2 goaltenders in this situation, but not by much. And resume speaking wise, Skinner edges him out there. So I actually like the addition of Skinner. Younger, cheaper Jarry. Last year his contract, if you fix him, fine. If not, might turn out to be someone you bring back on a bargain deal and see what good hockey you can get out of him left. And the best part about all this, Jarry going to Edmonton, the Penguins retaining 0 salary in the deal. All of that $5.375 million on Jarry's contract, it is going to Edmonton in that situation. So I like that. And the other additions on top of it, they are just gravy. Brett Kulak not having a solid year for the Edmonton Oilers. 31-year-old left shot defenseman. I think just has 2 points in 30-something games. But when he is in the playoffs, Brett Kulak, he turns into a playoff warrior. That is going to be highly coveted by teams. Kulak is in the final year of his deal as well. I'm sure the Penguins could get some decent hockey out of him, maybe ship him off at the deadline for another good pick. And the Pens, they also get a 2029 second-round pick in this deal. That second-round pick way down the line here, but I actually like it because by the time 2029 rolls around, that second-round pick, it can be very beneficial because I would like to think that the Penguins, they're going to be way better in 2029. By then, who knows where Edmonton is? That could be a high second-round pick, and that could be used for a massive trade to better the Pens when they get better a couple years from now. So I like that. The most interesting thing about this trade is that the Oilers and Penguins, they are going to meet on Tuesday night in Pittsburgh, I believe. So we may get a matchup where Stuart Skinner faces his old team, Tristan Jarry faces his old team. That will be very, very interesting. Overall, my final thoughts on this trade, absolutely love it from Kyle Dubas, A+. Ever since he took the Pittsburgh job, that first, off season and season for him was a bit curious, including giving Tristan Jarry the extension. But Dubas, over the past couple of years, I think he's been batting 1,000, and something that we haven't seen in the later portions of Jim Rutherford's time as Pens GM and Ron Hextall's time as GM, something that Dubas did with this trade that those two gentlemen did not. He admitted that he was wrong, signed Jarry to that big contract, and then said, all right, things aren't working out. Let's get out from underneath it. But the trade overall, I don't see how it can be anything but an A+ for the Pens. You take a high-paid goalie who's living up to the contract right now, but you get a high-paid goalie that is now on the wrong side of 30. That was on waivers, too. Let's not forget that. Tristan Jarry, he was put on waivers last year just for any team to pick him up. Nobody did. You turn that goaltender plus one of your failed prospects that you didn't even draft into a reclamation project of the goalie you just traded. If you fix him, outstanding. If you don't, no harm, no foul. He'll be gone in the offseason. And you got two young goaltenders who are going to be overtaking him soon. A rock-steady NHL defenseman late in the season that teams are going to love. And a second-round pick that you have stashed in your pocket for a rainy day. That second-round pick also, that now gives the Penguins 14 picks in rounds 2 and 3 over the next 3 seasons. That is outstanding restocking of the cupboard there by Kyle Dubas. He is on a heater right now. Absolutely love that from Dubes. If he keeps making trades like that, then the Penguins, they are going to be well taken care of here for years to come. Dubas actually spoke today, wrapping up this segment here on the trade today. He spoke with the media. He said the goaltending situation overall, beyond this year, there's no real commitment. The door is wide open for competition between Skinner, Shalovs, Murashov, and Blomqvist. That's a lot of incentive there. We'll see who can climb to the top and take it and run with it. Doesn't think that this trade alters the timeline for Sergei Murashov, still in the AHL right now. Dubas said he likes the competition going on down in the AHL right now between Yoel Blomqvist and Sergei Murashov. So right now it'll be Skinner and Shilovs at the NHL level. On the addition of Brett Kulak, that's where things got a little bit murkier there for Kyle Dubas. Skinner, I think he's lumped into this, but not sure how it works. Skinner and Kulak, their availability for tomorrow's game, it's going to be a 3 o'clock puck drop against the San Jose Sharks. Their availability for tomorrow's game, it is in question. Both men have to go through some immigration processes, especially Brett Kulak. Kulak said that, Kulak, he has never played for an American team before. I believe he played for the Calgary Flames. Who did he play for? The Flames, the Oilers, of course, and then want to say the Montreal Canadiens. He's played for those teams, but never an American team. So who knows if he'll be in the lineup. Last thing Kyle Dubas said is that the message to the Penguins locker room after this trade, quote, we're trying to mitigate the loss in that we do have 2 very talented young goaltenders coming. We have a talented young goaltender here in Artie, and we're improving our team and adding assets that we could use now or in the future. So still, Kyle Dubas not wavering in his approach that he set day one when he entered this organization. We're looking to improve now and in the future, making moves that help in the short term and long term simultaneously. I think that trade is what exactly he did here today, getting a needs to improve a good bit version of Tristan Jarry for Tristan Jarry, and for basically a prospect who couldn't do anything here. You get a defenseman that you can flip for a solid pick and a second round pick. Outstanding job by Kyle Dubas. The last move that the Penguins made today, it wasn't that trade. They actually placed Matt Dumba on waivers a couple of hours ago at 2 o'clock. So that might be I think that is the move to make space for Brett Kulak, Jarry, and Skinner. They just swap out positions there. So that's the 2 big news stories today here for the Penguins and the Steelers. The Steelers, TJ Watt, lung partially collapsed after a dry needling dry needling practice at the team facility. He is home now, resting after surgery on that lung to repair it. He is out Monday night, and the Penguins today, adding to the fun, Tristan Jarry and Sam Poulin to the Edmonton Oilers for Stuart Skinner, Brett Kulak, and a 2029 second-round pick. What are your guys' thoughts on the Tristan Jarry trade or the TJ Watt situation? Get those in the comments section. I would appreciate it if you do. Going to keep things moving along here on a Friday and wrap up the show here in a little bit. We got some extra Pittsburgh sports news to talk about in a moment. We'll start with the Pittsburgh Steelers Friday injury report ahead of their Monday night matchup with the Dolphins. We'll talk about that. We'll get into the Penguins game from last night. Just talk about that briefly. That obviously taking a back seat to what they did today. And then we will wrap up the show after. 7 of you in here on your way in. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in the comment section what you think about the TJ Watt situation or the Penguins trade made this morning. Let's get into it. The Steelers extra news here for the day. Their Friday injury report, it is officially out. Took them a little bit later than usual to get it out, but now we know what it is. The Steelers practicing indoors today at the Rooney, UPMC Rooney Sports Complex. The heat was on, but they had a couple of doors open to try to make it a little bit cooler, I guess. The injury list for the Steelers growing today. So here is what we know right now for the Steelers. These guys not practicing today. Cam Hayward, Y.A. Black, TJ Watt, and Derek Harmon. Now, Harmon expected with his knee injury. Watt, of course, with the lung. Y.A. Black, he was listed as a shoulder injury. However, Cam Hayward, usually when he doesn't practice, it's because he is he's taking off, veteran rest days. Instead, today, his injury designation upgraded to a knee issue for Cam Hayward. So that is something to really pay attention to. I mean, you're talking about now all of a sudden massive bad news on the defensive line. You're already down multiple guys there. Isaiah Loudermilk, Dean Lowry, Daniel Ekwale, those guys on injured reserve. Derek Harmon's missed the past couple of games. Now you add in Cam Hayward with a knee injury, and also getting into the limited guys here. Keanu Benton, he was limited today with an ankle. You're probably talking about, there's not a single starter on the D-line that's healthy right now. Hayward, Black, Benton, and Harmon, your 4 main D linemen for this season, all on the injury report today. And Benton's the only one that practiced limited-wise. You might be looking at a situation scary to think about Monday night where you got Keanu Benton and some Joe Blow that they bring in off the street. They might be, putting fans in 3 techniques, timing their get-offs out in the parking lot before Monday night game. They're so banged up on the D-line right now. Some other injuries on the injury report today for the Steelers. Calvin Austin, he popped up on the injury report, was limited with a new calf injury. James Pierre, Andres Pete, they did not practice as well. Pierre with a calf issue. Andres Pete with a concussion. He's still in concussion protocol. Ben Skoranek, Darnell Washington, again, limited today. I think Skoranek might have been out of practice yesterday. He's dealing with a hand issue. Darnell Washington, second day of him being a limited participant. DK Metcalf, Patrick Queen, Kyle Duggar, full participants. Aaron Rodgers was that as well. So at least, those big names, Metcalf, Queen, Duggar, they seem to be all right. Rodgers too. But tons and tons of names either limited or not practicing today. That is very, very scary and worrying if you're a Steeler fan. Just, wow. This is not a good injury report. Not good whatsoever. And very worried even more now. No Watt is one thing, but you're down your whole D-line plus more. I don't care what the weather is or how the Dolphins play in cold weather. That is not a good injury report there for your Steelers. That might be one of the worser injury reports that we've seen in quite a while for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is no joke there. Also, might as well mention the Dolphins injury report today as well. For the second straight day, starting running back Devon Achane was limited with a rib injury. Their starting center, Aaron Brewer, having a fantastic season. He downgraded from a full participant yesterday to a limited participant today. Those are the two guys to take note of the most there for the Dolphins. Everyone else on their injury report was pretty much limited today. Rasul Douglas, Jack Jones, Ifeatu Melifonwu, Chop Robinson, Darren Waller, all of those guys limited yesterday. Also limited today, except for Jack Jones. Looking here now, was not on the injury report yesterday. He added to the injury report today with a knee issue. So lots of tons of limited for the Miami Dolphins. Obviously better than lots of guys not practicing for the Steelers, but still some very noticeable names on that report. And the final thing on the Steelers in their practicing here today, you had Brooke Pryor of ESPN, beat writer for the Steelers, put out there that the Steelers, they do practice one more time tomorrow. That practice, not at the UPMC Rooney Sports Complex, is getting moved to Acrisure Stadium, and it will be closed to the public. What Pryor added, the team did this last year ahead of their playoff game so they could work in the elements, practicing the practice on a playing surface that has heaters to keep the ground from being frozen solid. So Steelers, I guess, trying to keep Acrisure Stadium field as nice and well-mannered as it can be ahead of Monday night. That and getting the team out and what they will be playing in, more or less, that is their strategy. Keeping the extra Pittsburgh sports news moving along here today. I'm going to switch things over to hockey for a second. Only those two things on the Steelers today. An update on TJ Watt and an update on the injury report. For the Penguins, though, tons to talk about them. They, last night in action against the Montreal Canadiens. The game delayed a little bit because of an accident on I-279 southbound. So traffic collision delaying the start of the game a little bit. Turns out that route to the game often used by Penguins players and coaching staff. So understandable. Turns out that delay to the start of the game, Pens must have thought that the game did not start until 8 o'clock or something, because they did not really show up at all in the first period last night. The Canadiens, they took a 1-0 lead fairly early. Penguins defense pairing of Ryan Shea, Chris Letang gets caught out there for over 2 minutes. Letang, just absolutely a brutal, terrible giveaway, kind of on par for the season he's having defensively this season. Gives it up inexplicably to the Canadiens. They convert shortly after, beating Tristan Jarry high over the glove. That probably could have been a save as well. It'd make things even worse for Chris Letang. About 2 minutes or so after he gave up the puck that led to the goal, got a one-time slap shot from the middle of the blue line in the offensive zone. Goes off the foot of Sidney Crosby, right off the top of the skate, where you have that sort of mesh-like padding. So not some protection, but not too much there. Crosby, he taking that shot in the left skate, hobbles off to the bench in some pain. So not a good start for Chris Letang to the evening. All in under 10 minutes. Giveaway that leads to the first Canadiens goal of the night, and then a slap shot off of the captain's foot. Not a good start for him. Crosby was able to return to the game shortly after, so nothing too seriously wrong with his foot there. Was 1-0 after one. Second period, more bad news for the Penguins. In Montreal, after the Pens spent a solid chunk in the Canadian zone, They needed just one opportunity back the other way to score another goal. Brandon Gallagher with a shot snipe on Tristan Jarry makes it 2-0. Not too long after that, on the power play, the Canadians with a power play goal. Cole Caulfield below the goal line throws one towards the front of the net, goes off the skate of Tristan Jarry and into the net. And the Oilers saw that and said, yeah, we got to trade for that guy. That is a Tristan Jarry type of goal to give up there. They did make it 4-0, but it was called back on an offsides. I think we all pretty much knew where the game was going, so who the hell really cared? The Pens were able to get to the third period with the lead for the Canadians at only 3-0, even though the play dictated the Canadians probably should have scored more. The Pens, they could literally do nothing right that penalty. That period. They spent a ton of time in the Habs zone, and they had a couple of pucks roll off sticks, a couple of shots go off of iron, just could not do nothing right. It was one of those games where everything was going to fall the Canadians' way and nothing was going to go the Pens' way. Looked for half a second. Pens had me fooled, had everyone fooled that the comeback was going to be on. Brian Rust cut the lead to 3-1, 15 seconds into the third period. Sidney Crosby now got an assist on that goal for Brian Rust. He's now only 4 points away from Mario Lemieux's franchise record. Only for the Canadians after that Rust goal to right afterwards put in another goal, made it 4-1. They got a power play shortly after that. The final score ended up being 4-2. You had Erik Karlsson get a meaningless power play goal with, I think, 4.5 minutes left to play, something like that. But we knew the Pens weren't going to have a chance to tie up the game. Another game for the Penguins where they looked, like they outplayed the opposition for a good chunk of the game, but could not finish, could not, capitalize on the golden opportunities they created. And when the puck went back to their end of the ice, the opposition found a way to find twine. So another game where the Penguins played well, but could not get 2 points. Starting to get very frustrating, especially now. Their record at 14-8-7. That is 5th in the Metropolitan Division, 8th in the Eastern Conference. Right dead smack in the middle. Taking a page out of the Pittsburgh Steelers book. Staying right in the middle, right around that 500 range to where they'll be on the outside looking in at a playoff chance, but also way too far away for, a shot at getting the first overall pick in the draft. So outstanding stuff for the Penguins. Maybe the trade that they made today, trading away Tristan Jarry, changes the fortunes for the team as of late for better or worse. I'll take either at this point. Just cannot finish the season with a 500-ish record. That won't do anyone good right now for this team. Also, heading into last night, I believe I said this right before the end of the live stream, Jacob Fowler started in goal last night for the Canadians, rookie making his NHL debut. Said would not be shocked if he dominates the Pens. Turns out he did exactly that, saved 33 of 35 shots against. He now joins elite company, joins Ken Dryden, Patrick Waugh, and Carey Price, 3 Hall of Fame goaltenders right there to beat the Pittsburgh Penguins in their NHL debut. So someone table that for the next time the Steelers or the Penguins go against a rookie goaltender for the Canadians. Might as well not even show up to the game. The Pens now, they have lost 6 of their last 7 games at PPG Paints Arena. They are 1-4-2 in that stretch. And they have, I believe, 2 more games on this homestand. So outstanding stuff right there. Just with some news on what the Pens did today. They had a day off on the ice today. They had some players who skated, some didn't. Not skating this morning. Crosby, of course, with his foot getting hit last night. I would not want him skating today, though he did say after the game he is fine. Brian Rust, Parker Wotherspoon, Eric Carlson, Ryan Shea, Chris Letang, those guys not practicing either. Ricard Raquel, though, who did get activated off of injured reserve, he did say that he is good to go. He was out there skating, said yeah when asked if he's going to play this week, so that is good. Could he play some center? I think Dan Muse hinted that could be a possibility. Dan Muse also said Crosby is fine. It will be a recovery day for him. So there's the latest there on the Pittsburgh Penguins. In the last piece of information here in the extra Pittsburgh sports news, nothing today at all. Radio silence on the Pittsburgh Pirates news. You had the Pirates, their, I guess, biggest story surrounding them today. They lost another pitcher. Former minor league pitcher Drake Fellows is signing with the Yankees. So nothing on the Pirates today, but tons and tons and tons on the Penguins and Steelers. Glad we all got through it here on a Friday. 8 of you in here right now. Going to wrap up the show here in a moment. If you have any last minute comments, questions, anything like that, feel free to put those in the comments section. Real quick, taking a last minute scroll here through Twitter to see if we have any sort of new news. The Steelers' depth taking a shot on the D line. Hayward, Black, Harmon, Watt not practicing, Keanu Benton limited. If all of those guys were to not play, then the Steelers starting defensive line Monday night against the Miami Dolphins would be Azizi Otamemwo, Logan Lee, and Broderick Martin Rhodes. They also have, according to Nick Farabaugh here, 2 defensive linemen, interior defensive linemen on the practice squad, Kyler Baugh and Anthony Goodlow. DeMarvin Leal still on the practice squad, too. He can bounce inside the tackles, outside the tackles, all sorts of that. So not a good situation for the Steelers defensive line. Yikes. Hopefully it is much more improved between now and Monday, but we will see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think that just about wraps things up here for the week. I want to thank you all. Today was exciting. We talked a lot here today on the channel. We were live for the breaking Tristan Jarry trade news, and we were able to talk about the new developments in the TJ Watt situation and so much more. So thank you all for coming back after we were live earlier today and coming back and getting your comments and that in. This was fun. Next time we meet here on the channel, it will be Monday night. There won't be any sort of live stream like this. We will head right into Steelers Dolphins a little bit before kickoff in that game Monday night. So hopefully you guys will come on back for that. Also, on your way out, one last time, if you have not done so, subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing. Like, share, leave a comment in the comment section. Go give the channel a follow at Steel City SR on Facebook, Instagram, and X. And come back later on tonight for SCSR 60. How am I going to be able to say everything that we talked about here tonight in that SCSR 60? I have no idea, but I will try to figure it out. So this was fun. Thank you all for joining me. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see what other new Pittsburgh sports news comes down the pipe between now and then. But back here on Monday for Steelers and Dolphins on the live stream. Thank you all. Have a good rest of your Friday night. Have a good weekend. Back here Monday for Steelers and Dolphins. Peace.